Olympics. Of course, Team USA, men's hockey and women's hockey both win the gold medal on their respective gold medals. Both the men's and women's hockey team. Congrats to both of them. I mean, Norway led the medal count, but still, USA probably the most medals they've had like ever, probably in Olympic history or something like that, for gold or something like that. Still pretty impressive though, despite not winning the Olympics. But still, the men's hockey team, I tell you, that's the one impressed me about. The women's team, definitely gonna go down in history, one of the greatest Olympic hockey teams of all time, just because the dominance they had in that whole tournament. Despite that, we had a little bit of scare from Canada though in the finals, you know, in the gold medal game, and they persevered and won that one. And Hillary Knight, we were down 1-0. And Hillary Knight gets a goal late in the third period to tie it up, send it to overtime, and Megan Keller, the golden goal for the U.S. women's team, to get the win and win the gold medal. So most of their wins have been dominant, but still, that's the closest they came to losing. But congratulations to U.S. women's hockey and beating Canada. Of course, the men's hockey won their gold medal game by beating Canada as well. What a game that was on Sunday. Hellebuck, probably one of the best goaltending performances in Olympic history right there, no doubt. Sounds biased, but still, just the second and third period, Canada was out shooting us big time in those periods. If it wasn't for Connor Hellebuck, honestly, USA probably would have lost like 4-1 or something like that, you know. Yeah, if it wasn't for him, none of this would have happened. So, yeah, congrats to him. So, of course, the game started with Matt Boldy getting a goal for the Team USA. They're in the second period with scoreless. Third period, Canada tied it up late there. Cal McCarr has, but God, Hellebuck made that huge save. McKinnon had a wide open net and missed the chance. But this end, the game goes to overtime. Not even 2 minutes in, Jack Hughes scoring the golden goal for USA. So it's the USA men's hockey team with the win. Of course, the NHL is back tonight. So yeah, it's definitely exciting for sure. Have the NHL back on tonight. Of course, Sabres are up a goal right now against the Devils. Tage Thompson, his first game back from the Olympics too, because he played for Team USA. Got the only goal so far for the Sabres. 1-0 leading the New Jersey Devils. It's weird playing against Jack Hughes, especially because they were teammates in Team USA. Now they're against each other. Timmy Miller, thank you for joining in. You always support. Thank you for tuning in too. Very appreciate that. But man, Team USA, just impressive. Let's recap the college basketball games from over the weekend that made my picks on last week. Of course, Syracuse and Carolina played each other. That was the first one I had picked. I had Syracuse, my upset pick. Didn't go well, but Carolina pulled away late. Even though I had Syracuse win that one, but they pulled away late in the game, winning that one. But it was close for most part. Syracuse was battling back so many times. But still, Carolina is just too good of a team. Joy T. Hilton, how you doing? Thank you for joining in. I appreciate that. So yeah, not much. Just joining once tonight here. Of course, happy to have the NHL back after a good Olympic break. It's good to have the hockey back for sure, especially being a Sabres fan. Just because Sabres playing the best hockey they've played in a long time. Because we haven't made the playoffs since 2011 last time the Sabres made the playoffs. So I'm hoping the drought finally ends. I want to make the playoffs so bad. My favorite football team, Buffalo Bills. I'm a Bills fan. I'm part of Bills Mafia. Oh, I just hope they. I mean, they keep getting so close, man. Josh Allen MVP. Hopefully, next fall, get a second MVP. Hopefully, and also maybe get a Super Bowl. It's pretty much Buffalo all the way for my teams, you know. For both Bills and the Sabres. I mean, I got some college teams. I like Duke. I like St. Bonaventure. Well, St. Bonaventure's from 90 minutes away from Buffalo, so yeah, they're my local team. Favorite sport? Kind of a tough football, obviously, but I also love hockey too. But I'm mostly a football guy. But I definitely love pretty much watching anything. I mean, between football, hockey, basketball, and baseball. I mean, but definitely football is my number one favorite. I'm a football guy for sure. So yeah, Charles beat Syracuse. So start 0 for 1. Of course, you had a couple top 4 matchups too. I mean, number 2 versus number 4. You had Houston. Yeah, number 2 Houston against number 4 Arizona. What a matchup that was. I mean, for a while, when I normally stream every Wednesday night, 8:30. But there's times I stream later, depending on if I go to a St. Bonaventure basketball game or not. Sometimes other stuff I've going on. Most of the time it's always Wednesdays on 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Once a week, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Very nice how I'm doing this. And of course, I mean Arizona, heck, I appreciate that. Arizona Houston was a great match. I mean, Arizona was the control, led most of that game, but Houston made it close at times. But Arizona went into Houston and actually winning. That's a tough place to play for college basketball. It's not like, hey, don't worry, but hey, as long as you tune in, hey, doesn't matter what time. Even I always get to catch the reruns too. I can always upload them once I'm done streaming. I always upload them. Then the following day, like usually around midnight, it's always uploaded. So you can always watch the next day or whenever you get a chance. So yeah, Arizona beating Houston. That's impressive. That's why they're the new number 2 team ranked. My St. Bonaventure Bonnies. I mean, I get some decent amount of like streamers once in a while. Sometimes I get like 14 times 20 people at a time, but trying to get a little bit bigger, maybe. But I usually get a lot of views like when I have the replay of it, like when I have it upload, when I have the video uploaded. I usually get a little more views there afterwards too. But I'm at like 91 or 90 plus subscribers right now. Trying to get to 100. Just taking one step at a time. Yeah. I just do this for fun. Something to do. Yeah, so St. Bonaventure lost to Richmond. It was a high scoring game. I think it was like 99 to 93 or something like that. Yeah. Richmond put up 99 points. So tough time for me as a Bonnies fan. Losing that game to Richmond. Give up 90, almost 100 points. Tough basketball game for sure. That was a tough one to watch, but it was high scoring. Good offense, but just like. See you maybe on Wednesday. Absolutely. Thank you for tuning. Thanks for appreciate it. So yeah, that game happened. Of course, I don't know what the future is for Mark Schmidt as a head coach for St. Bonaventure. I mean, I think he'll stay. I think it's just the inexperience of this team. I feel like. But his seat's definitely getting hotter for sure. As a head coach for St. Bonaventure, no doubt. No matter what happens, whether he stays or not, I appreciate a lot of the success he had. Being a Bonnies, man, especially bringing us a lot of success, especially NCAA tournament appearances, an A10 tournament, our first ever in school history. That's something. I mean, he achieved that. Winning his coaching program history as well. A lot of things he did, during his tenure at St. Bonaventure. So yeah, no matter what happens, well for it. Because I mean, Just great. It's an all-around great coach for sure. Won the Carry Dome for the first time, winning in Syracuse. I think it was 2017. They had a really good team that year. 2017, I think it was. Yeah, it was a 2017. That was a special year. They beat UCLA in an NCAA tournament game. I think it was a play, even though it was first four was a playing game, but still, that's a big win. Being a program like that's had so much stuff, especially in the 70s, but still, I'm back, my friend. Wanted to see. Oh, my friend wanted to see. Hey, thanks. But yeah, so it's good. It's been a long year being a Bonnie fan. You know, being the now I think ranked, we're like second to last in the A10 this year. So we'll see how the rest of the season plays off. I mean, who knows? Mick going to run. Absolutely. How you doing? Thanks for tuning. You know, thank you for your friend too for tuning. I appreciate that. All the support I can get. You know. But that happened, yeah. Of course, the biggest, probably other than Arizona Houston, the other biggest game was #1 Michigan versus #3 Duke. And of course, other than St. Bonaventure, I'm a Duke basketball fan as well. Well, St. Bonaventure because I live like near the campus, like 10 minutes away from it. Plus, my local college basketball team. So I'll be obviously root for him. Plus, Duke because I got an uncle that's a big worked at Duke. This stream is about pretty much any sports, but in college basketball. But I'm also going to preview the WWE pay-per-view this weekend, which is Elimination Chamber. I'll be previewing that, of course, talking NHL, pretty much talking sport, pretty much. That's what we're pretty much doing. So, I mean... See, so yeah, Duke beat #1 Michigan over the weekend. So now we have a new #1 ranked team in the top 25 for college basketball. And it is, yeah, Duke, my team, my Duke Blue Devils, which I'm happy about. But not only that, but they got the win over Michigan, which is really impressive. Michigan's been a dominant basketball team all year. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'll talk more of the NFL. I mean, we've had some big offseason moves for sure. I mean, Tyreek Hill getting released by the Miami Dolphins. That's the biggest thing that's going around. We don't know which team he'll go to next. Who do you think Tyreek Hill's going to end up going to? Where's his next team? Think he'll return to Kansas City? Because I think I wouldn't be surprised on that one if he goes back to the Chiefs or he started his NFL career. But at the same time, I feel like the Bills are in the conversation. There's some other teams like Green Bay, maybe. I think Green Bay might be in there, but Giants maybe. Someone's got to go after Tyreek Hill, but I'm predicting it's for the Chiefs. He's going to go back to the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not going to be surprised in that one. I think he wants to be back with Patrick Mahomes. All right. That sounds good to me. Then what's the move for AJ Brown? That's another big receiver that's on the market right now for free agency. I mean, AJ Brown, who's already played for the Tennessee Titans, recently played for the Eagles. I'm wondering what he's gonna do. I'm wondering what his future is gonna be. Friends, all right, that's what I'm talking about. I think that's Bills are interested. Of course, there's some other teams that could be interested in him too. So. I'm not sure what his future is gonna be allowed to AJ Brown. What the Seahawks are gonna do after winning the Super Bowl, you know, I think they could be just as good as last year's. This past season's team. I feel like Bills, they just can't get over the hump of the playoffs. I thought it was just the Chiefs, but no, that Broncos game showed like that was their best chance to get in the Super Bowl. The Bills, we don't know what the Bills are gonna do. Player in the NFL, Josh Allen. I'm a Bills fan, but also just because. Just the style he brings, the toughness too. He's a good player, you know. Just like runs, that can take any much hits. You know, he just runs and passes. Just a dual threat quarterback, just one of a kind for sure. I just like the energy he brings to this team. Just because he's carrying the State of the Union was fire. Yes, Shea Pierce, it was. Especially having Team USA's hockey team there last night. That was low key. Oh, that was amazing. I like the Rams. They were so close too. Yes, absolutely. The Rams were pretty close. They were. I mean, I thought for sure they were going to get to the Super Bowl. I thought they're honestly going to win it if they would have beaten the Seahawks in the NFC title game. I thought for sure. They had such a great team. They had, especially the wide receiver room, so stacked. He had Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua doing there. Those two together. There's dangerous. Matthew Stafford having the best season of his career. An MVP season as well. Yeah, Matthew Stafford winning MVPs. I mean, so yeah. He had a great season. I think they can build off it and get to the Super Bowl eventually. I feel like the Rams are going to get to it, especially because next year, the last time they won a Super Bowl was in LA, and that's what the Super Bowl is going to be. And Super Bowl will be in LA next year. Jets, they suck, yeah. We don't know when they'll ever get. We don't know when the Jets will ever come back to being relevant again. We don't know when. They just can't catch a break. They thought they're going to be good with Aaron Rodgers. Then he gets a torn Achilles his first game. And, of course, had a rough 2024, you know. I don't know if I'm going to listen. I appreciate it, yeah. And now, of course, Justin Fields didn't live up to the expectation. He looked good in the beginning, but then he gets injured and just had some turnover issues. So, yeah, the Jets, we don't know when they're going to be good. Again, I don't feel like never. It's hot take there. Man. Russell Wilson to the Colts. Ooh, maybe. Maybe, just maybe. That could happen. Taking over Daniel Jones's job? Interesting. Interesting. Probably not, but maybe as a backup, but that's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, I'll be interested to find out what happens after that. If that does happen. Cause a lot of chaos in Indianapolis for sure. I wouldn't mind seeing it just because of the chaos. But man, that's just crazy thing. The Colts had the best start in the NFL season, and they just fall apart. Just blows my mind. The Bills will have a top 10 D, hopefully. Maybe, yeah, I'm hoping they could. They can stay healthy. They can very well have that opportunity. Maybe go after some in the free agency, hopefully this time. Brandon Beane's got to do something. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in, you know. Thank you for tuning in there. I appreciate it. But all right, back to the college basketball games I picked over the weekend I had. Thank you. Yeah, of course, Duke beat Michigan. I think the Pats are this year's Commanders. That wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't be surprised, especially because the schedule they got coming too. So yeah, Duke beat number 1 Michigan. It was a 68-63 the final score of that Duke Michigan game. That was a good matchup. Number 1, number 3. So Duke's number 1 team, obviously. Auburn beating Kentucky. Auburn's off their losing streak. I think it was like a 6 or 7 game losing streak or something like that. So yeah, Auburn beat Kentucky. I mean, I'm surprised Kentucky lost that one. Especially because they had a lead, but they had a bad foul, which kind of cost their chance of winning. So the Kentucky Wildcats, that's a tough loss. They're just a hot and cold kind of team this year, what I've noticed. Kentucky's been like that all year. And I picked them. I really thought for sure they're going to win. But yeah, Auburn winning at home. And of course, the 10:30 one. I mean, this was kind of a surprise, but you know, BYU's good, but like they beat Iowa State. You know, it was at home court, but still, I mean, the BYU won, like Saturday over Iowa State, but the last night had a huge letdown against UCF. So I mean, the Big 12 is good. I will say the Big 12's got a pretty good conference this year for college basketball. They got a really good conference. I will give that conference a lot of credit. They got a lot of great teams in there this year. So those recap. Now let's make our picks for this week's college basketball games before we get into the Elimination Chamber preview. Starting with my Duke Blue Devils at noon Saturday against Virginia. They're against the University of Virginia. That's going to be a good one because Duke, the new number one team, they had a dominant win last night. Their first game as the number one ranked team. They beat Notre Dame 156. Notre Dame's worst loss at home since 1898. It was. That was the last time Notre Dame lost. Pretty bad at home. 1898. That's wild. How long it's been since the last time Notre Dame had that bad of a loss at home. Yeah, it's probably by margin of score, I think it was. Something like that. Yeah. Duke plays number 11, Virginia. This would be a great matchup because back then, last year was kind of a mismatch. Last two times Duke's played Virginia. Duke's blowing them out, but in the years before that, Virginia was always a powerhouse. The Virginia Cavaliers, University of Virginia was always a powerhouse team. Always good, always hang with Duke, especially in Charlottesville. But I'm going to have to go with Duke. I just feel like they're just too good of a team. I mean, if it was in Charlottesville, it would have been a lot different story, I feel like. But I think it'll be closer. But I think Duke still will win, but it's going to be a lot close game. Virginia's a great team, but they're up against probably one of the best teams in college basketball. Sounds biased being a Duke fan, but yeah. That's what I like. I like Duke win this one. Next, 2 o'clock on ESPN+. St. Bonaventure at George Mason. Really rough season for the Bonnies. And up against one of the best teams in the conference. I mean, yes, St. Louis is number one, is in first place in the A10, but George Mason's good. But the last time the two met, Bonas had a 16-point lead and blew it against George Mason. We outplayed George Mason that game, despite losing that one. We outplayed him. I just don't get it. Like, we just can't close out games. But I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm gonna pick George Mason. I never pick against one of my teams, but I'm doing it. I'm gonna take George Mason this weekend. Just cause Bonas is just rough this year. I never do that. I thought I never pick against my teams, but they've been a disappointment this year. I just don't see it. Maybe they could surprise me, but I gotta go George Mason this one, unfortunately. Of course, I'll be going the Bonnies game tomorrow against Rhode Island, so maybe we'll see. Maybe I change my mind, but I'm sticking right now as George Mason I pick for sure. There's a couple 4 o'clock games. There's more games this week. So, yeah, 4 o'clock games, 2 of them, one on ESPN. Both are Big 12 matchups. But, yeah, number 14, Kansas against number 2, Arizona. Of course, Kansas beat Houston Monday night. Arizona beat Houston as well. And, of course, last time these two met, Kansas gave Arizona their first loss of the season. They were like 23-0 at that point. Yeah, so, yeah, who am I going to take this one? I'm going to go with Arizona this time. Arizona can get swept by Kansas. Kansas is a great team, but there's no way Arizona loses to Kansas twice. No way. Especially being in Arizona. So, yeah, I got them in this one. 4 o'clock on CBS. I'll probably multitasking watching both those games. Texas Tech, number 16, Texas Tech against number 4, Iowa State. Should be a great game. But I'll take Iowa State in this one. I'll take the Cyclones to win this one over Texas Tech. That's my pick in that one. Now the 6 o'clock hour games. Oh, Tennessee and Alabama. Last time these two met, of course, was first college basketball Saturday picks. Tennessee beat Alabama on the road. And I'm going to think Tennessee's going to sweep them. For some reason, I've done well picking Tennessee most of the time, so I'm going to stick with them. Go with them beating Alabama. I feel like they always had Bama's number when it comes to college basketball. Football, maybe a little bit different. So, yeah, I got Tennessee in this one over Alabama. 2 8:30 games. One of them on ESPN is for college game. It'll be at Florida this week, University of Florida. So, yeah, the defending champs. Of course, Florida's ranked number 7. Well, Arkansas's ranked number 20. Arkansas's had a great year. This one's a tough pick. But I'm going to go with Arkansas. I was thinking of taking Florida, but Arkansas has been impressing me lately. So, I'm going to go with them. That's one of my upsets here. Next one, Virginia Tech and North Carolina. Oh, man. I'm going to go upset this one. I'm going to go Hokies in this one. Virginia Tech's going to go into Chapel and beat the Tar Heels. That's my hot take this week. My hot take pick this week. I'm going to go Carroll. I'm going to go Virginia Tech in this one. And to wrap it up, Gonzaga and St. Mary's. 10:30. That's going to be a good one. Of course, the rematch. Of course, Gonzaga won the first one. This time it's at St. Mary's. I'm going to still go with Gonzaga. I'm going to go with Gonzaga still. They'll find a way to beat St. Mary's again. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's a lot closer than the last time these two met. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down to the final possession. But now, let's get into our pay-per-view this weekend. Elimination Chamber, the second step on the road to WrestleMania. I can't believe it. We are getting closer. This is the final pay-per-view before WrestleMania, because WrestleMania will be not until April, but still, this is it. The final pay-per-view before it. Should be a great one. It's in Chicago, the hometown of CM Punk, who is your current World Heavyweight Champion for WWE. Also, AJ Lee, which is CM Punk's wife. Of course, she's back for a second run in WWE. So let's make our predictions here. Starting with Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee. So AJ Lee, Becky Lynch, really, I don't know if it's beef, but yeah, because their husbands are having issues with each other. So you got Seth Rollins and CM Punk's problems. Now it's dragged to the wives in this. Should be a great match generational-wise, because before Becky Lynch was in WWE, AJ Lee was the top diva in this business at one point. One of the longest reigning Divas champions of all time. But this will be for the Women's Intercontinental title match. Becky Lynch puts her title on the line against AJ Lee, so it's got to be a night for... I'm going to go with AJ Lee, especially because it's in Chicago. It's in her current home. She grew up in New Jersey, but yeah. A lot of her friends and family will be here. So I'm going to go AJ Lee will be your new Women's Intercontinental champion. That title's going to change hands. I'm going to go AJ Lee to beat Becky Lynch. And of course, CM Punk will defend his World Heavyweight title against Finn Balor. I think it's going to be a great match. I think we'll probably steal the show, maybe. But I'm going to go CM Punk. He's going to retain his World Heavyweight title and get to WrestleMania and face Roman Reigns. So, yeah, I'm going to go CM Punk. It's going to be a night for both AJ and CM Punk. They're both going to win their matches. AJ Lee will be the new Women's Intercontinental Champion. CM Punk's going to retain his World Heavyweight title. The Women's Elimination Chamber match. Winner will get a WWE Women's Championship match at WrestleMania. Because Liv Morgan already chose her opponents. It'll be against Stephanie Vaquer for the Women's World Heavyweight title. So she made her decision. It's Tiffany Stratton versus Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Kiana James, and Raquel Rodriguez. A lot of star power in this one for these women's superstars. I'm going to go Rhea Ripley again. Even though I've lost the Royal Rumble pick, but I'm going to take her again. I got to take her in this match, so yeah. And of course, to wrap up the men's Elimination Chamber match, the winner will get an undisputed WWE Championship match against Drew McIntyre, or unless someone else gets the title, but yeah. Randy Orton, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, Javon Evans, Trick Williams, and main event Jey Uso. I want to go Orton again, but I could see Cody win this one. I think it's going to set up a feud with him and McIntyre because they've been going at each other. So I'm going to go Cody Rhodes will win this one. So I got Cody Rhodes win this one. Thank you all for tuning in for this week's show. We will be back next week. Next week at 9:30, I think, because I'm going to wait till the Bonnie's game's over against George Washington next week. So yeah, I'll be a little later because we're going to preview my Pittsburgh trip next week. So we'll see you all next week.